Hytale will undoubtedly provide us with a wide variety of blocks and building styles, whole new techniques and uses that we may never have thought possible in block games past. So today, let's take a closer look at just 30 of those blocks and how they might affect the state of the game. Welcome back to Kweebec Corner. My name is Connor, and today in the Hytale Development Circle, we discuss 30 awesome Hytale blocks that will impact the gameplay of Adventure Mode using in-game screenshots and video footage released on the website. And if you're new to Hytale, well, hi! You should maybe catch up a bit with some other videos on the channel first before watching.
This video is sponsored by ServerPro. ServerPro has everything you need to host the next big Hytale server. With support for modding and scripting, why not start your adventure today and grab a free Minecraft server which you can swap over once Hytale is launched.
Number 1. Sideways slabs. We may as well start off with the sideways elephant in the room. Half-block slabs are natural and known to everyone, but the way they can be placed on surfaces has been altered in Hytale. We see these scattered throughout a bunch of gameplay footage and structures, both interior and exterior uses alike. Look at the added depth it brings to some of these ruins. It really helps with that crumbling effect, or the more structural padding that helps provide the house with shape. The plethora of palettes, potential styles, and aesthetics is greatly increased with these sideways blocks, with so many more possibilities when constructing your perfect Hytale home. Number 2. Log branches. Trees will act a bit differently in Hytale. While we won't be able to punch wood, we will be able to create an axe from stones on the ground, more on those later. This can then be used to chop trees down to gather wood, including these thin branches that appear on pretty much every tree. This added variation to the size of the log blocks creates a more realistic looking tree line, and makes me wonder more about what harvesting wood will actually be like. We've seen that we'll be able to use these log branches in a number of ways, from chopping them in a sawmill to structural frameworks and exterior decoration. Number 3. Log spikes. Most likely carved from the log branches we just mentioned, these blocks suggest a sharpening mechanism. Fun fact, we've actually already seen a character using a grindstone to sharpen a blade. Mostly seen in Zone 1, Trort camps are heavily protected by these log spikes. You'll actually catch them around a few of the abandoned settlements too. I can only assume that touching the tip will cause damage, and in fact the sight of these may even act as a deterrent to some mobs or factions. Number 4. Slanted roof variants. There's no doubt that with more than just stairs and horizontal slabs, general build possibilities will exponentially increase. Housing will become a lot more intuitive and customized, with the ability to work with slanted roof tiles, differently angled blocks, and high articulation throughout, adding a sophistication to buildings that I don't think many players have seen before, unless using high-end mods. Number 5. Leaves. The leaves of Hytale will take a less blocky form and appear more natural overall. Leaves will sway in the wind, and I'm also intrigued to see how fire spread may work. How will it look like with these cool semi-block versions of leaves? Number 6. Farming carts. We've seen these workstation type blocks scattered around multiple images. Clearly you're going to need one of these if you ever hope to cultivate a decent crop farm. Seemingly it can hold a watering can, a pitchfork, and some hay. This may even be some type of storage block, allowing you to wheel around your farming tools without having to take up many slots constantly in your inventory. Running back and forth from this thing to grab your can, fertilizer, and any other equipment you may need in the meta of farming. Number 7. Rocks. These will surely be one of the first blocks we actually get in Adventure Mode. While yes, they aren't technically blocks, they can be picked up, thrown, and placed, acting as not only our first weapon, but a projectile and crafting material. Who knows what potential items you'll be able to forge from this other than a basic hatchet. Number 8. Chest variants. When it comes to storage, Hytale doesn't hold back. We've seen regular chests, locked chests, golden loot chests hidden deep down in dungeons and ocean depths. There are some larger storage containers too, all pointing to the idea that this game intends to provide a lot of versatility when it comes to managing your items. Gone are the days of walls with hundreds of similarly looking chests. I love that they're running with this sort of idea too. It works in Terraria incredibly well. It's always a delight to run into a different type of chest you've never found before. While some can have systematic differences like how they're opened or the amount they actually store, I could do with just some general variations on the textures. Number 9. Elemental crystals. While elusive and mysterious, these strange artifact blocks will most likely be used to harness the magic powers of Orbis and play a key part in the story progression of Adventure Mode. Whether they will act as a source or more as a simple decoration once collected remains to be seen. Number 10. Torches and light sources. Well, we have torches, so that's a start. Not just that, but there are lots of variations and themes on the light source blocks. We see single candles, groups of candles, lanterns, tiki torches, gothic torches, even special blocks that emit light, such as the green fire. Hytale will also provide a mastery over colour and lighting, the likes of which we've only just seen in the ray tracing update for Minecraft. Number 11. Cobweb cocoons. We've seen some of these in an image as an adventurer travels through the depths, but also in the trailer, as White Widow spiders crawl around the cave, we actually see these cocoons encase something, or even someone, as they slightly shake and rattle around. Could it be that our quest is to free something within them, or could they conceal an even darker enemy? Number 12. Pots. A small one, but I thought it was interesting to note. A classic staple of dungeon running RPG style games is smashing pots. Smash pot, get loot, and if no loot, at least you smashed pot and feel good. That's the general idea, but seeing the different types of ornate artifacts gets me excited for how people may choose to decorate their homes as well. Number 13. Furniture. Speaking of decorating homes, we see fully functioning tables and chairs amongst other pieces, cupboards, bookshelves, even these cute little wooden signs that appear in the Kweebec hut and mineshafts. Number 14. Barrels and crates. More interesting storage blocks here, not really got much to say about them other than the fact that I think it's cool they're considering all these assets, even small side dressing and decoration. Crates and barrels may even have drop boxes, allowing them to be broken just like pots to get loot. Number 15. Double doors. We've seen some awesome door mechanic footage, showing 2 wooden doors opening simultaneously in the right direction. Placing these will hopefully be simple, as I know that's a finicky thing in some of the games. There are also some larger dungeon doors that seem to have keyholes or locks. Whether these doors are 2 blocks wide, or these locks appear when 2 of the same type of door are placed next to each other remains to be seen, but it's intriguing to imagine similar locking mechanics that are on the chests also working with doors. Number 16. Molten rock. Briefly sighted in the Zone 4 images and footage, these cracked blocks seem more dangerous than the regular terrain. Perhaps they'll cause damage, but then again maybe not. We've seen a character walk along these without being too concerned. Maybe they had armor, or maybe these blocks actually hold small pockets of lava. Maybe breaking into them can cause it to flood out. Number 17. Ore blocks. A lot of ore types clearly exist in Hytale, but the difference is in how you may spot them. Due to their 3D mask, the ore fragments themselves protrude from the block, and some actually shimmer in the darkness, allowing you to spot and harvest them much more efficiently. Number 18. Scarecrows. Farms not only need tending, but also defending. Taking inspiration from games like Stardew Valley, birds will most likely land and crop at your crops. Adding a well-made scarecrow might just be enough to keep them at bay. Number 19. Void skulls. Unusual and clearly connected to the element of void, these purple glowing skulls have strange symbols and can be found around areas of Orbis with dark magic and where devious misdeeds run rampant. While the regular bone piles and bone blocks are cool, I feel that these may hold a deeper secret. Number 20. Cooking stations. With a workstation showing pots, a chopping board, and cooking utensils, as well as a large array of food items that we've already seen in images, it's safe to say that cooking stations will be a great place to combine ingredients and find new recipes. We've seen no solid info on cooking as of yet, but hopefully it will have a little more to it than just combining food items. There could be a small prep minigame similar to the Pokemon series, just an idea, but the way you prepare the food and the quality of the crops may even determine the physical buffs and the hunger regen amount that's given by the food you eat. Number 21. Chains and ropes. These are some of the things that I think players have wanted in block games for a long while. They provide a visual element, structural support, and stability. Having ropes is also a lot more effective when decorating. Chains hanging from dungeon chambers help to mix the man-made with the natural. Perhaps ropes will even be climbable and aid to escape tough situations in deep caves. Number 22. Workbenches. The workbench seems fairly simple at a glance. A wooden table with a few scraps of paper, nails, and a hammer. It'll be interesting to see if we ourselves will need to craft the hammer and the nails, or if they're more of an aesthetic similar to the textures around the Minecraft crafting bench. One thing that will be different, however, is the requirement of recipes. Not everything will be craftable at first, and the need to explore and investigate will be prominent. My question is then, will these workbenches be easy to craft? Will they be expendable, or will the cost make it worthwhile bringing it along with you? Number 23. Ice blocks. Personally, I think this deserves a spot, but I see why others may disagree. It's just an environmental block after all, but I just love how it looks. Not just the translucent effects, but the way it shifts and warps the light. The frozen lake setting a crystal perfect tone for Borea. Number 24. Cave foliage. Ice spikes, realistically generated stalagmites, interesting cave dimensions, hanging vines, and dead roots that are different to those that appear on the surface. It's safe to say that cave exploration in Hytale will feel atmospheric and less repetitive. Each zone has a differently layered cave experience, with their own unique underground biomes layered on top of one another. Things like the Zone 4 jungle caves with dinosaurs and entire civilizations are what excite me the most. So much colour and mystery within those deep, dark caves. Number 25. Fruit. We've spoken about trees, but not what grows on them. And no, it isn't a Hytale beta code or a physical copy of the game, sadly enough, it's fruit. We've seen coconuts, apples, and even berries sprouting up around the forest and beaches, adding variety to orchards and the biome foliage within each zone. I'm sure there's plenty of fruit we've yet to see included in the cooking recipes, and many more crops that may naturally grow around the land. I'd be interested to know if the apples would fall naturally when ripe, or if one would need to throw a rock or even cut down the tree to get at them. Number 26. Window shutters. Hytale will introduce some blocks specifically used for exterior decoration. While sideways half slabs will be great for many purposes, more focused blocks like these wooden window shutters will allow players to dress their creations in much more detail. There will surely be variations on the material, allowing for many themes and patterns as well. Number 27. Chicken coops. This one seems a little strange to me. It's more than a full block, but like workstations and other larger objects in the game, it seems like it can be placed down, and it's made up of different crafting materials like raw logs and wooden planks. It's almost like a schematic in a sense, suggesting that we may actually be able to craft small buildings or at least specifically useful things and place them down over a few blocks. A chicken coop in this instance probably being used to keep chickens, encourage breeding within a radius, and we may even find an egg or two in there. Number 28. Poop blocks. On the stinkier side of things, cattle will occasionally defecate, this then becoming an actual entity or block that can be collected by players and turned into fertilizer for advanced crop growth. The poop in itself contains a fun fly animation, and it can even be thrown as a projectile. Hey, maybe you'll run into cow poop before you even find a rock to throw. Number 29. Buried treasure. We've only had one glimpse at this type of block, a chest buried slightly in the sand. Clearly, there's a lot of treasure to be gathered here for the lucky explorer keen enough to find it on the beach. Perhaps these types of treasure islands will actually be scattered across the deep ocean biomes, with the ability for players to sail across the sea and adopt a pirate's life for a while. Number 30. Screen blocks. Seen in the trailer, and of course the PewDiePie clip, we end with a block that we can only guess at. We've seen videos play in-game, and we've even seen live camera feeds connected to monitors, so will we see ourselves a particular kind of screen block that's placeable? Maybe a monitor type item that can be hung on the wall? What do you think? Would you be able to stream any video URL here, or just from a specific website? If these screens are made up of a specific type of block, will that mean that we can alter the dimensions and size of the screen too? Hopefully this list of blocks has convinced you of just how innovative and interesting Hytale Adventure Mode gameplay will be. There's countless other blocks I could have mentioned here, but of course, the video's got to end. If you enjoy this, then make sure to like the video and let me know in the comments which you think will be the most impactful. Maybe I can do another one of these listing a few other interesting blocks in the future. Remember, you can join the Kweebec Corner Discord to discuss all things Hytale with a huge community of thousands of fans. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and thanks as always for watching Kweebec Corner. Stay safe and keep free.